So we got a lot of news to cover from the past week or so, and we'll start with the Boeing whistleblower, and that is John Barnett, who recently was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound in Charleston. But to really get the full picture, we have to go back to 2017 or so, which is when John Barnett filed a complaint with the U.S. Labor Department under the AIR 21 Whistleblower Protection Program, which protects essentially plane manufacturing employees from whistleblowing, letting people know about issues regarding FAA safety regulations and all that. Pretty important to protect flights. I'd say that's like one of the biggest things. So in 2018 and 2019, there were 2 crashes killing over 100 people each of Boeing 737 MAX 8s. Those were the planes, which happens to be in particular the ones that John Barnett was whistleblowing on, although he said in a TMZ interview it's Boeing as a whole, not just the 737 and the 787s.
One, this is not a 737 problem, it's a Boeing problem. Back in 2012, Boeing started removing inspection operations off their jobs. So it left the mechanics to buy off their own work. My concerns are with the 737 and the 787 because those programs have really embraced the theory that quality is overhead and non-value added.
So even back in 2018, there were crashes, and I think they spent over $1 billion on a settlement.
Yeah, it was $2.5 billion settlement they had, and that was pretty much to sweep the issue under the rug, I feel like.
Yeah.
And we haven't really, I honestly, until researching this video, didn't even know about these stories, and they killed, I think it was 189 and 157 people, which is a pretty big deal.
Insane.
Yeah, now granted, none of these issues happened in America, which I hate to say it, I feel like would be a bigger story, which is sad to say, but it was an Ethiopian Airlines, and the other one was Lion Air, which I'm not exactly sure.
Right.
But those were the airlines.
Of course they're going to try to cover it up, whether it's in America or not, though.
Yeah,
as we'll see
Boeing, that would be their interest. It's all just capitalistic greed, essentially.
Exactly.
But you've probably seen a lot of stuff recently, like those 2 incidents killing people, but then you have, since January, a ton of issues with Boeing in particular that have happened. Like, you've probably seen them in the news.
Yeah, like the door falling off.
Yeah, that was the Alaska Airlines. A door plug came off mid-flight. There was literally, in the report, a kid sitting in the seat by where it blew off who lost his shirt. So
right, just insane. I would hate to get on a plane and the freaking door falls off.
I literally, can't imagine. It's surprising no one died from that.
Honestly.
And then a United Airlines Boeing 777 lost a tire while taking off from San Francisco, California en route to Osaka, Japan. The tire, there's actually a video of this, the tire comes off right after takeoff and crushed some cars in the parking lot, smashed windshield, total loss of the car. Which I wonder if insurance covered that.
I was about to say, does insurance even pay for that? A plane tire fell off and crushed my car?
I mean, airport security, they do have cameras everywhere, probably since 9/11, so I imagine there has to be videos of the tire crushing the car. We have videos of the tire coming off.
Hopefully they have evidence of that. I mean, I'm paying all that money to park my car at the airport and then I come back and it's gone.
There should be some sort of insurance for that, especially with the prices of airport parking. It's ridiculous.
For real.
Then, another story, a Boeing cargo plane headed for Puerto Rico had to make an emergency landing at the Miami International Airport after one of its engines caught fire after takeoff. And
holy
there's video
shit.
of this.
There's video of an engine on fire in the sky? I'm never getting on a Boeing.
Yeah, there's actually a saying right now, if it's Boeing, I'm not going. Yeah, I get after these stories, and we've talked about 3 stories so far, other than the deadly ones that have just happened this year. We are in what, March? We're in March.
Right.
the middle of March, and there's already those 3 and more. We're not done. We're not done.
And then, isn't there a video of a bunch of Boeing employees saying they wouldn't ride on a Boeing plane?
That was an Al Jazeera undercover investigator, and that was actually in the Charleston plan, which is where all of this with the whistleblower took place. So just another level of weirdness and credibility to everything going on with the sketchiness behind it.
If their employees aren't gonna get on one, why would I?
10 out of 15.
Holy shit.
Did you fly in one? No. You won't fly in one. Did you fly in one of these planes?
Of 15 workers asked randomly, 10 said they would not fly on the Dreamliner.
I wouldn't fly on one of these planes because I see the quality going down around here.
The source told us workers are often underskilled, uncaring, and in some cases on drugs.
Thanks for coming. This is our first ever time doing this, so we're still working out the kinks, and apparently it's cold the second half of the day today, so I had to get a jacket. But on with the story, just to the Boeings, there was a LATAM flight that dropped mid-flight, again a Boeing, and 50 people were injured. They were literally tossed around the cabin. And then one other one that literally happened while I was writing this story, United Airlines flight lost a panel, like a big section of its body mid-flight. There's no videos of it like falling or hitting someone out of the sky, but they found it on an after-flight inspection, so who knows how long it had been that way. Also, a lot of these are still under investigation. There's no actual determined cause behind this. You can guess it probably has something to do with the things the whistleblower was saying, especially the number of them that were 737 and 787 Maxes, but just all the Boeings in particular. As he said, this is a Boeing issue,
yeah, it sounds like
737.
It sounds like they don't even manufacture these things well. Like, I heard something about them using dish soap as lubricant.
Yeah, Dawn liquid soap. They were using it as lubricant for the door. That's according to like an FAA investigation that took place regarding their door plugs in particular, which is of course what came off in the Alaska Airlines flight, which the investigation into that one has actually found that they had overwritten the video footage of them working on that plane. So plane manufacturers, there's videos, cameras all throughout the factory just to document the quality of work that is going into this process, and that footage of that particular door plug being worked on was overwritten.
Wow. I mean, from the door falling off to the dish soap, and wasn't one flight canceled because the passenger was like, hey, there's a bunch of bolts missing?
Yeah, I don't know exactly which one that was, but I read about that one too. I've read about more stories. The ones that we've talked about so far, I've studied the details, but I swear there are even more I've read about that I couldn't find for the sake of this video. But there was also one where I saw a picture of a plane, and it was like this on the ground after landing. The wing, it landed and was like this. I don't know the details of that one, but there's a lot of just sketchy shit going on with these Boeings.
I saw this one comment. This girl said that her uncle lives in California and they live somewhere on the East Coast, and he works for Boeing, and he drives cross country every year instead of getting on planes. Not even just Boeings in general, but he's scared to get on planes, and this is somebody who works for the company.
And yeah, it's like those 10 out of 15 who said they wanted it. I saw people who were saying this is all just a plan to get people scared of planes, so we all live in a 15-minute city where we are contained. Which, the thing with that is, well, A, Boeing doesn't want this stuff happening, and if they wanted us to be scared of planes in general, you'd think it wouldn't just be Boeing. Like, this is a Boeing issue, how it seems so far. And so with all this, this is the stuff that's been going on in the recent months with Boeing planes. However, now we get to the suicide.
Suicide.
The suicide. The Epstein. He Epsteined himself. Well, I hate associating this guy because this is a great guy.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he was trying to save people.
Literally, he's trying to save people's life, and now gets associated with a child sex trafficker. Like, the worst thing. Like, the opposite of karma, because his karma should have been here, and he got down here, and it's so fucking tragic.
What they're really saying is, did he really kill himself?
That has become the term associated with silencing someone, getting Epsteined. And that's what happened. Which the details of this. So he was in Charleston staying at a Holiday Inn for the deposition. He had deposition like literally the next days, and when his lawyer hadn't heard from him, he called the hotel and asked them to do a welfare check. They show up, knock on his door, nothing, so they go out and then find in his orange Dodge Ram, they find a body and then have to tell the lawyer they're calling EMS, and he's pronounced dead immediately. But there's so many fishy things with this.
I feel so bad for his family. He was just trying to help people.
Suspiciously, the gun was still in his hand when his body was found, which I've read people who are like forensic investigators saying that makes absolutely no sense in a suicide. No sense at all. I mean, the gun would fly out of your head, like, and it was to the right temple, like, so it's literally, allegedly, how he did it would have been like that, and nothing. It just, and he had been seen 24 hours before, I think, on surveillance leaving the hotel, but it took a whole day before there was that call to do the welfare check.
Right, and wasn't he saying before, like, if something happens to me, it was Boeing, it wasn't me?
Yes, and that's one of the big things with this story coming out now, is that the hotel employees, his friend Jennifer, his family, his lawyer, everyone who interacted with him has said that he literally said that he would not kill himself.
Right.
A close family friend of Barnett says he predicted he might wind up dead, that a story could surface that he killed himself. But he told her, don't believe it.
I knew John because his mom and my mom are best friends. He wasn't concerned about safety because I asked him, I said, aren't you scared? And he said, and his voice and the way he would talk, no, I ain't scared. He said, but if anything happens to me, it's not suicide. I know that he did not commit suicide. There's no way. He loved life too much. He loved his family too much. He loved his brothers too much to put them through what they're going through right now.
So that says it right there. He literally said word for word, according to his friend Jennifer, that if he dies, it is not a suicide. I don't know how much more obvious you can get than saying that directly.
It seems like everyone, like conspiracy theorists to just normal people, are agreeing that this was not his doing.
From the most chronically online paranoid people that exist out there to the most like normie boomer, all in agreement, just Boeing killed a man. That's like what it looks like. From everything from, I mean, the circumstances, where he was. I mean, why would it make sense that he would kill himself?
Right before
what he's literally traveled to do. He traveled from Louisiana to Charleston, South Carolina, and it's in the middle of a deposition. He went to some of them and then just stopped going because he decided to kill himself.
No way.
And I guess they would be expected to, but I fucking hate that Boeing puts out a statement saying that they're saddened by the loss. Because even if they did have nothing to do with it, which is the official narrative in a supposed suicide, an apparent suicide, even if that's true, they were cheering when this happened. They were like, oh, thank God.
We got out of it.
Oh, like, no fucking way. We had to continue the episode inside because it's getting a little too cold and dark out there. We're very new to this, so thank you all for coming in here, and yeah.
Back to the fingerprint dusting. It seemed like they went a little deeper into this investigation of a suicide than they would for a normal suicide.
A lot of people online who are forensic investigators have said that that's not normally the procedure when it comes to a suicide investigation. And of course, you could argue that they want to be thorough. I mean, especially given the circumstances that we're seeing with everything going down, from the whistleblowing, the gun in his hands, And everyone's saying that he would not kill himself in the days leading up to his death.
Yeah, we're
So-
curious what you guys think about the whole
Yeah.
Boeing situation, about the whistleblower situation. So comment down below your thoughts. We're really curious.
We want to know if it's a Boeing. Are you going? I'm not. I'm not myself.
No way. Anyway.
And I do think I lean this way on Epstein too. I think he killed himself. But what do you guys think?
You don't think he did?
No, I think he did. Yeah, you're right. I don't. Neither of those two killed themselves.
Yeah.
Epstein didn't kill himself. John Barnett did not kill himself.
I don't think so
Misspoke.
either. Anywho, I'm staying away from Boeing. I mean, don't come for us.
I never thought I'd have to check what plane I'm in.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
never have in my life.
The type of plane. Like, I just buy
get on
my
a-
ticket and
exactly.
go. But now
That's
I'm going to be
the whole
checking.
process. Now there's another step to that when I want to fly somewhere. But don't be scared to fly.
Right.
Hopefully.
Okay.
I hope I can
Anywho.
keep saying that.
So join us for our next week's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Kylie.
I'm Bart, and thank you all for coming. Hit that subscribe button.
Like,
we have
comment.
more episodes. Like it if you like it. Comment. Let's keep this conversation going. We'll see y'all again next week. Later.